go. Hello. Oh, 出てる出てる。
Are we live?
Hi. 恥ずかしいな。
Okay, thank you for waiting, everyone. Sorry for the delays. We're here now, and let us know if everything is working okay. We'll do a quick sound test before we begin. Let us know, does the microphone work? Is the audio okay? How do we look? We're on the wide angle lens right now. Let's try and get a better angle. So the reason we're a little delayed today is because we had a few technical difficulties. But we are wearing our matching banana outfits. We're trying a new setup today, and we've got the camera here. We've got another monitor here, so we're gonna try and adjust this so we can see a little bit better.
Hello everyone. Oh. Okay. Oh.
Okay, sorry again for the delay. Here we are. I think we're ready. We've got our optimal setup. We've got our giant monitor here so we can read your guys' comments, and we've got the camera here. So, hello everyone. This is Tubo Cruz. Today here with
Thuong desu.
And today we're doing a follow-up live stream. We made a recent announcement video talking about our plans for leaving Japan, and we got a lot of questions on that video. So we wanted to answer your guys' questions, and there were so many questions that I didn't want to just make a dedicated video because I thought you might have some more questions, and it'll be quite a random video because we'll be talking about a lot of different things. So we'll be answering the main questions in today's video, and then I'll be getting to the chat and I'll be answering some of your guys' questions. So before we get into the chat, we'll get into the chat later. I want to start just with the main topic of today's video. So anyone who's watching this later, you can watch this now. We'll also add some timestamps down below to when we answer some of the more important questions. And the first question that we're going to be answering today is, why are we leaving Japan? And also, what are we doing with all of our bikes? You can see we're in our bike room. We haven't filmed a video in the bike room in a long time. この部屋で撮影するのは久しぶりだね。
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And Chun-chan, we'll try and get her to answer some questions in English today. We're going to be practicing her English, so if you have a question for her, feel free to add that later. But we'll be getting to those extra questions later on in the live stream. So first things first, why are we leaving Japan? So this is actually a long decision that we've been making. It's been a continuous decision. We originally decided we were going to leave Japan last year. We made an announcement video. Actually, we both quit our jobs last year. So before, this is pre-COVID. I was working for a bicycle distribution company here in Japan, and Thuong was also working at her previous company, which is a factory here. She used to work on the front line of the factory, doing different work on the front line as a manual laborer, and then she upgraded to the office. She was a worker there. So we both had pretty nice jobs here, and at that time we decided that we were going to move on from Japan and head to her home country of Vietnam. So most of you guys should know my wife is Vietnamese. So we were planning to move to Vietnam for a couple different reasons. One, to be closer to her family, and also just to have the freedom to visit her family. So she had some different family issues, and some people pass away in her family, and we wanted to have the freedom, the flexibility to visit them and just, yeah, spend more time together. And also I wanted to have the opportunity to experience another culture and experience what life is like in Vietnam. and decide like what we want to do. Do we want to have a long-term future there? And we always figured like if we wanted to come back to Japan, we could come back to Japan in the future, but like you only have so much time in this world, and same with like your opportunities to see other people. So we decided that we wanted to experience other parts of the world, particularly Vietnam, and we also wanted to travel in other places as well. 後でそれ読む。
Okay.
And so that was one of the big reasons we decided to go. So we wanted to challenge ourselves. And as far as work goes, we were planning to do a bunch of different work projects. So like YouTube is one thing, but I don't want to be like a full-time YouTuber. I like working on other projects as well. So I'm also a blogger. I'm also a web programmer. I do freelance work for other websites. I do my own website development as well. So I wanted to dedicate a lot more time to that. And I also like teaching, so I wanted to continue as like a freelance teacher. And we also considered like different ideas of starting a business in Vietnam. For example, like we could start a language school in Vietnam, so we could teach English with me teaching English. We could teach Japanese together. She could teach Japanese to Vietnamese people. And potentially we could also teach Vietnamese, or she could teach Vietnamese and we could recruit other teachers. So we were thinking to do possibly a whole international style school like that in the future. We also considered ideas like we could start our own bike shop, and we could like do our own bike rental, bike touring company. And of course, these are like businesses we could start in Japan, but it's a lot easier to do this in a country when you don't have to worry about like getting a business visa. There's a lot more expenses to that, and then you're like stuck like working here. You have to make sure your business succeeds, otherwise you risk losing that visa. And I found that there's a lot more opportunity in Vietnam compared to Japan. Like it's a new market, it's an emerging market, there's less rivals, and at the very least, we wanted to go there and experience life there and spend some time like just reconnecting with Thuong's family. So that was our main goal for leaving Japan. In the past, that was pre-COVID. We made all the preparations to do it. We both quit our jobs, and we were ready to go. Like we quit our jobs. I think we gave notice around January because we gave a couple months notice, and we didn't want to leave our like employers hanging. So unfortunately, we were set to like leave, I think around March or so. I can't remember exactly, but just about when the pandemic started hitting other countries, and Vietnam actually closed down its borders in March of last year. ベトナム完全に閉めた去年の3月。So our plan was we were leaving our jobs, and then we were going to take a month or two to like sort of travel and get everything ready to leave our apartment in Japan. And unfortunately, like Vietnam just stayed closed that entire time. So our entire plan just went out the window. And a few months later, we were really scrambling, like deciding what to do, because we were risking like not being able to stay in Japan anymore. We needed to be able to renew our visa. We needed to find new jobs, and we didn't know how long it was going to last. Like last year, we were just thinking it would be a couple months delay, and that turned into a full year delay. And now it's like end of August, a full year and a half later, and Vietnam is still closed. 1年半ago. It's still closed a year and a half later. And there's still no signs that really Vietnam is opening. But the one good thing, though, is the vaccination rate in Vietnam and the rest of Southeast Asia is starting to catch up. Some other people are watching from like America and Western countries. You guys already have enough vaccines to like where everyone who wants it can get it. But we're still not there here in Asia. So especially like even Japan, there's still a lot of people waiting to get the vaccine. And in Southeast Asia, there's a lot more people waiting, especially to get like quality vaccines and ones that are more trustworthy. So we're hoping over the next few months that situation is going to change and the borders will be opening pretty soon. But this is, again, a bit of a gamble. So now we're getting into why are we leaving now. So we've had a whole year to like reflect on what we're planning to do and what we really want to do. Like we were able to sort of second guess our original decision. Are we going to stay in Japan and continue this, go for permanent residency, or are we going to continue with our like original plan and going abroad, visiting Vietnam? And the plan wasn't just to visit Vietnam. We also wanted to travel, experience other places. I've been to a lot of different countries already, but Thuong's only been to a few countries. So let's see, what countries has Thuong been to? 何の国に行ったことある？
最初がJapan、最初海外、次が台湾。
英語で。
Yeah.
In English, please.
国だけでいい？
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first, of course, Vietnam. She's Vietnamese.
Japan, and tonight Taiwan, and Thailand.
Vietnam, Japan, and then Thailand or Taiwan.
Taiwan and Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
4 countries all together.
Yeah.
まあ自分の国も含めて.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thuong's been to 4 different countries. We did our Taiwan cycling trip for a few weeks a couple years ago. We just posted a playlist link on our community page. You can check that out. We had an awesome time there just cycling around. We cycled around half of the island on the east side because the east side's way better, a lot more nature. The west side is a lot more industrialist. So that was an awesome trip. We also went to Thailand as like our delayed honeymoon, kind of. That was another fun trip. And yeah, there's lots of other places we want to visit together. And as countries sort of start to open up now, we're getting to the point where like, that's why we're planning to leave now. So I did sign a 1-year contract with my current company. So now I'm working as an English teacher, and I got to the point where I mentioned in the last video that my contract expired. They asked me if I wanted to renew, and they asked me for like a full year renewal. So basically, I don't want to commit to anything that I'm not ready to like commit to. I don't want to promise 1 year and then they're depending on me staying there. And then halfway through the year, if things open up and then we decide to go, I don't want to put my employer in that position. So when I signed up for the contract last year, I went in with a full commitment that I was going to work the full year. So even if things opened up earlier, I was going to honor my commitment and stay there, because like there's a lot of, I don't know, flaky foreigners. Like they come here, they work in Japan, and then they just leave without any notice. They put a lot of people in a rough situation. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to put my employer in that situation. Like they've been really nice to me. So it's also like not fair to them. Like even if I extend a few months, like they eventually have to find someone new in the first place. So it's better for them to find someone who is going to honor a longer commitment, because then there's less stress for them to manage that position. And then the students will have a teacher that they can work with longer. So that's another reason why we're not going to extend that contract. And it's getting to the point now where like we've had a full year to rethink about our original decision. And we've realized that staying in Japan for the long term isn't the right decision for us. 今の話わかる? I asked her if she understands the current conversation. So I'll try and talk to her a little bit because we speak in Japanese, but I can't add subtitles, and most of you guys watch in English. So Thuong's improving her English, but her comprehension level is still a little lower. She can understand like basic questions. So まあとにかく日本出ることに確信しましたね。1年間ずっと考えて、
Yeah.
でも
No. 2 years.
まあ考え直して1年間。
Okay.
Yeah, we had 1 more year to think again and think over like, is this our right decision? So yeah, we decided like, we got a lot of questions like, why don't you just stay? You can go for permanent residency. And I made a whole video talking about permanent residency, citizenship, like what are the advantages and disadvantages of each one. And maybe I wasn't so direct in that video about the points I wanted to make. So I'll make that a little bit more clear right now on why we don't view Japan as like a long-term solution for us. And I'm going to really simplify this. Like there's a lot of different reasons, like of course visiting family, being able to like leave and visit family. But one of the other big reasons is also like a sense of security. And it comes down to how comfortable I feel staying and investing my full future into Japan. So at this point, like if we were to go for permanent residency, to get permanent residency, you have to live in Japan for 10 plus years. You have to have a long-term work contract. You have to have like stayed at that job for a decent amount of time. Like you can't just start this new job for 1 year and then expect to apply for permanent residency with that job. So it's not so easy to get, especially if you don't have a connection with like a native Japanese person. And so you can go through that effort and you can get that. We've been here over like 6 years now, so we're a little over halfway to getting permanent residency. But one thing that became clear from this whole pandemic situation was even Japan sort of discriminated between how they treat permanent resident citizens and how they treat like actual Japanese citizens. So that's like something that we have to worry about in the future. Like if we had permanent residency and we were out of the country when COVID restrictions started, we wouldn't have been able to come back. And that became really clear to me that like there's a big difference between Japanese citizen and Japanese permanent residency. Eventually they did allow the permanent residents to come back in the country, but there was still, I think, at least a couple weeks, if not months, where they did have that discrimination between allowing Japanese citizens back in, but not allowing Japanese permanent residents and like business owners back into the country. So that was one thing that really sort of shook my confidence in like deciding a whole future based on permanent residency. So that's one thing. And then I realized like, okay, if we're going to invest a full future in Japan, like I want to have citizenship in that country. And with citizenship, you have the right to vote. You have the right to like work any job that you want to do. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. Like if you want to leave the country for a while, come back, you can do that. If you want to start a business, you can do that. You're not limited on any of the work that you want to do. If you want to start a touring company, you can. If you want to work in a kitchen, you can. Like you can do whatever you want. But unfortunately, Japan doesn't allow dual citizenship. So to summarize this story and make it really short, we want Japanese citizenship, but we're not willing to pay the price of Japanese citizenship. You have to give up your home citizenship, so I'd have to give up my American citizenship. Thuong would have to give up her Vietnamese citizenship. And of course, like the Japanese citizenship, it's one of the top in the world, and we'd love to have it, and we'd love to invest like our full future in Japan, but not at the like price of giving up our home citizenships and like burning that bridge, so to say. We might want to move to America in the future. We want to move to Vietnam, at least for part of our future. So it's a big commitment to give up everything just for that citizenship. And the same thing for permanent residency. It has to be continuous like residency in Japan for 10 plus years. So for example, even if we leave and go to Vietnam for like half a year, we come back and we continue working in Japan, we have to start the clock from zero. So we realize there's things we want to do in our life right now. We don't want to wait to do that. So we'd have to live in Japan continuously like 4+ more years to even finish like getting permanent residency. I'd have to have a pretty good job throughout that period of time. I can't be like changing jobs. So even if I wanted to like start my own company or whatever, that might add on to the extension time of applying for a permanent residence. So there's a lot of different reasons. I don't want to drag on this story for too long, but quick basic summary to make it really short is there's other things we want to do in our life right now. And if we want to come back to Japan in the future, that path will always be there. We can always come back here. If we want to start a company and come back, we can start fresh that way, doing the entrepreneur like visa route. If we want to come back as a teacher, we can do that. So we're not giving up on Japan like completely. We're not like closing this bridge completely. There's just other things we want to do in our life right now and other places we want to experience. One of those being Vietnam, my wife's home country. I also want to challenge myself in a like unfamiliar situation or setting. We've got a lot of comments saying like, why would you leave Japan? And Japan is so safe. It's so comfortable there. You speak the language. You're comfortable with things there. And like, yeah, that's really true. It doesn't make sense logically. Like, why would we leave this perfect environment? Like, we've lived here for years. Our whole relationship is based around Japan. And just leaving that all to go into something unknown to a lot of people it just seems like really idiotic or strange or weird. But we've thought about this for like over a year. Like Thuong said, we've thought like 2 years. First, we thought about this 1 year before we made the decision to leave. We really struggled with what to do. Like, should we leave Japan? We really second guessed ourselves. Like, do we really want to leave? And then we had a whole extra year to think about it. So it's not that we haven't thought about this. We have. We've thought a lot about this. And yeah, sometimes things aren't logical. Decisions aren't logical. And it's not that we're doing this from our heart. Actually, some of our decision process making is logical because if we do want to start a business, like a cycling business, one of our dreams is we want to be entrepreneurs. We want to start our own company one day. Like doing YouTube, that's kind of like a company in a way. Like we're doing our own thing. We're able to make money in that way. We're able to like do something we're passionate about. We're able to share our love for cycling. We're able to share our love for food. We're able to share like just whatever we're passionate about. And we want to do the same thing in other like business formats as well. So one idea is the like bike shop, for example, doing cycling tours. And Thuong also has a dream. Like she wants to start her own shop, right?
Yeah, coffee.
Okay, let's see. Let's have Thuong talk for a minute. 自分の夢ちょっと説明して。どんな店作りたい？どんなビジネスを作りたい？
日本語で？
英語で。
No.
In English, please.
No, I can.
Simple English, okay.
Okay. My dream, my coffee shop.
Coffee shop?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just
coffee?
No.
No?
Coffee.
Juice?
And everything. A little cake.
Cakes? Little cakes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, Thuong makes a mean pumpkin pound cake. Really good.
Yeah. Everyone can working and drink good coffee. So
Relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of our like future goal of something we want to work towards. We haven't decided the official like exactly what route we want to do, but we do want to sort of combine our businesses in like one way or another. And so whatever type of cycling related business it is, whatever type of cafe it is, we could combine it. We can have like an awesome building near like a comfortable cycling path or a good area for cycling. So we can have some different cyclists come in, some different regular people come in. We can treat them with some awesome like snacks, drinks and stuff. And that is an exciting business idea. Like that's something we want to work towards in the future. We want to challenge. And when we think about, do we want to do this in Japan or do we want to do this in Vietnam? So of course, like Japan is amazing. It's a tier 1 country. It's one of the safest countries in the world. People are really polite, really respectful. But at the same time, like rent in Japan is really expensive. Operating costs in Japan are really expensive. The labor cost is really expensive. And the competition, there's so much competition. Like there's so many like oshare no cafe, fancy cafes. There's so many in Japan. So like from a logical standpoint as well, it makes more sense for us to get over to Vietnam. There's a lot more potential business opportunity there. There's a lot less competition and there's a special niche that we can fill. Like there's a lot more potential, if that makes sense. And then the upstart costs are a lot lower. So it's not just an emotional reason why we're choosing to leave and go to Vietnam. It's also a logical reason. We have thought about a lot of different aspects of this. It's not just one thing. So I can't just give like a simple answer about that, but this is our dream. Like, and one day, like we can document the whole process on our YouTube channel. So if we decide like, okay, this is the location that we're going to build our business, we can document that all on here. So that's why we love this channel. It's just like a documentation of our life. Like our channel is really random at times. Like sometimes it's a cycling channel, sometimes it's a food channel, sometimes it's a serious ride channel, sometimes it's it's just a bit of everything. It's just our lives. Like that's what we're doing today. And like we'd probably be a lot more successful if we focused on one niche, like if we were just a cycling channel. But that's not like why we're doing this channel. We do it because we enjoy like sharing our life. We enjoy documenting what we're doing. We like watching some of our old videos to see like what we did in the past, and we can share it with our friends and family. So we want to share that experience with you guys. And once we eventually succeed in this goal of starting our business, wherever it is, whatever it is, like you're all welcome to come try some of Thuong-chan's cake, try some of her coffee.
Yeah. Buy shop and coffee shop. Nice combo.
Nice combo.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think that mostly summarizes why we're leaving Japan. So we'll take a little break here. I'll read some of the comments. We'll answer some questions. And then we'll get into the second topic I wanted to talk about today. And that is our bikes. So what are we doing with our bikes? And what is our plan with that? So we'll get into that in a few minutes. But we're going to check in on some of the comments right now. 大丈夫
Okay.
読めるよ
Okay.
Oh.
What happened?
ちょっとオフしてみて I think Thuong's other phone, we activated like Siri and now it's trying to talk to us. So live troubles. So I'm sorry if we missed some of your earlier comments. We're going to be starting with one of the more recent comments. So if we missed your comment, go ahead and add it down again at the bottom and we'll try and get to it. We'll read some of the earlier comments later, but we don't have enough time to go through and catch up with everything. So just starting here in the most recent comments. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining today's stream. Hello Juan. Hello, Tsutsui. And did we hear Central America? Yeah, we'll be talking about that a little bit later in the video when we talk about what our future plans are. And from Singapore, Untold, make your own merch as well. We do have our own merch.
I mean, I don't know.
あ、Tuo Cruise のシャツ取ってみて。
何のシャツ？
Tuo Cruise の。
シャツ？
うん。
何の色？
全部。全部。
T シャツの。
全部。
Okay.
Yeah, so Thuong's gonna go grab the Tuo Cruise merch. We've got some shirts. We haven't worn them on the channel in a long time. So while she's getting those, I'll continue reading some of the comments. And some from Rich Martinez, Namaste from Texas, love the banana shirts. Thuong Bucks Coffee. That's an awesome name, actually. Thuong Bucks. That's pretty good. But I'm not sure, that will be pretty standard, I think, in Vietnam. Like, if we were abroad in America or, like, Japan, that would be a good name. But I think in Vietnam, it's not so original because it's too Vietnamese sounding. And from Kurt Anime, good luck, both of you guys. From Tomo, go for your dreams, guys. And from Ryuichi, I have a dream to get out of this country. I know it's very difficult, but I'm trying. I'm sure your dream will surely come true, and I hope you believe your way. Yeah, I hope you have good luck leaving the country. It's not a smart time to leave. It's not an easy time to leave right now. But if you got a plan, you can make it happen. And from Roberto, is the final next stop Vietnam? We don't know. So Vietnam, we're viewing as more of like a mid-term stop. So we have a short-term stop, we have a mid-term stop, and a long-term stop. So for the short-term stop, we have right now Thailand, Indonesia, Panama, and the short-term stops are the countries that are open now, that are visa-free, that we can visit without any problems. And the reason for that is because we can't get into Vietnam right now. We don't have a secure long-term solution. So once we get into Vietnam, we don't have a problem with the visa. I can get a marriage visa and we can stay permanently. So if we like Vietnam, we're going to test it out for like at least a year. But if we like Vietnam, we'll consider like making that a long-term solution and we'll stay there like permanently. But if we don't like Vietnam, we'll be looking for other potential long-term solutions. And those are the USA, because we'll get the passport and citizenship for Thuong. We're also looking at Europe and Portugal, because Portugal offers citizenship in a 5-year investment, which is basically the same amount of time that it would take for us to get permanent residency in Japan. But it's a step up than permanent residency because it's citizenship. And Portugal seems like an awesome place, even though we've never been there. So that's why it's just a like outlier random potential long-term solution. The other long-term potential solutions would be like other places in Europe, like Germany and, for example, Canada, like just the more Western, open, free, democratic, good quality of life, good air quality kind of countries. So we're considering all options at this point. And also we're considering maybe we'll come back to Japan in the future. Like if they offer dual citizenship in the future and they have a good investment program for us to come back and we realize we miss Japan, Nihon ni modoritai. Yeah, そういう気持ちがあったら、また戻るかもしれない。So if we feel that way, we might come back to Japan in the future. We don't know. But in the meantime, we do know we want to experience new places now, and that's why we're going. And so we have our short-term places to wait until we can get into Vietnam. And then once Vietnam is opened, we plan to stay there for at least a year. We're going to see how we like it. If there's a nice place we feel like we can settle down. If we find a good place for business opportunities, we might do that. And yeah, so we're really flexible. We're really fluid for the future of what we're going to be doing. Anyway, Thuong brought the Tuo Cruise merch. Yeah. So they're nice and folded right now, but we're going to take a mess of that right now. So we've got our standard Tuo Cruise design right here. This is our standard white logo shirt. It's the same logo we have on our jersey. We also have it in different colors. So here's a light blue version of the same shirt. And we've got a black letter. Jiga kuro. We've got a black letter version. We like this one. This is the bright neon one. We wear this on our rides sometimes. And yeah, there's a lot of different variety of these ones. So by the way, if you have ordered one of our shirts, please send us a picture. We love seeing the pictures. You can send it to our email, tuocruise@gmail.com. And we've got another one there. And we've also got our alternative design because we love taiyaki. So this says taiyaki daisuki. And yeah, this is the women's color, but they also have a men's one in red. This is mine.
Man.
This is probably my favorite shirt. I wear it all the time. And I'm not sure if we have the shop link in the chat. It should be there, but if it's not here, it's in all of our other videos. So you can check that out if you want to help support our trip and help support the future of our channel. You can check out our merch. We honestly don't make much money from this. Like, we've probably made $100 in the last year. But it does help support us a little bit. And we also get a lot of support from our supporters over on Patreon. So thank you everyone who's helped support our channel along the way. And yeah, that's our merch. Okay, going back into a few more questions here.
Yeah.
And from Hector. Hey guys from Las Vegas, how about a country close to Vietnam? That's why we're considering now Thailand and Indonesia, because those are the countries that look like they're going to be open right now and they're nearby Vietnam. We would also consider like Cambodia and Singapore, but right now nothing is open because Asia is just really behind on their vaccinations. So Asia seems to be like one of the most closed down parts of the world right now. But if more countries open up and they're nearby Vietnam, we'll probably wait there. And once we are settled in Vietnam, we would like to travel and experience some of the countries nearby. So like, yeah, Malaysia, Philippines, all the countries we mentioned earlier. We want to visit all those places, and we're just waiting for travel to open up again. But yeah, we definitely want to visit all of those areas. どこに行きたい? Where do you want to go?
Many.
Many.
Yeah.
For example?
I want to go to.
もっと大きい声.
I want to go to. Okay, again. Thailand.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I love Thailand. I love mango rice.
Mango rice. What do you want to do in Thailand?
Fruit very good.
Food's very good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pad Thai?
Yeah, but I love pata. I love the mango rice.
Mango rice?
毎日食べたね。
Every day? We
Yeah,
ate?
every day.
Yeah. Every day pad Thai mango rice.
じゃあじゃあ。いや。次 Tonight.
Next?
じゃあ I want to go Bali, Indonesia. Yeah. Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah. Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Yeah, Taiwan number
Yeah.
1.
If Taiwan had like a easy residence program for us
Yeah.
to like get there and stay there long term, we would 100% go for that. Taiwan is one of our favorite countries. The Taiwanese breakfast, the cycling roads, the cycling infrastructure, just the food, the night markets.
Food very, very, very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we make it to Vietnam, I'm probably gonna go to like Taiwan at least 3 times a year. So yeah, there's lots of places we want to go. Korea? Oh yeah, Thuong really wants to go to Korea.
Yeah.
Mm,
Tteokbokki.
yeah. She likes our spicy foods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, let's hear.
From Tsu Tsui, met an ex-Tour de France rider living in Chiang Mai. Told me it's a great place for cyclists. Yeah, when we go back to Thailand, we're looking at 2 main places right now. One is Phuket, because they have the sandbox program. But Chiang Mai is set to open up their like no quarantine program in October. So if that opens smoothly, we might be going that way. For people who don't know, Chiang Mai is like up in the it's like a mountain kind of town. And I hear it's like cycling paradise. So I'm really excited. I want to go check it out. And hopefully we can make our way up there. I hear there's a lot of different like people that go there to like work. People who are working from abroad in Thailand like to go live in Chiang Mai. I haven't been there myself. We've only been to Bangkok and to Phuket before. We also want to check out the cycling course in Bangkok near the airport. That'll be really great to see. And from Mizuki, Taiwan welcomes you. Yeah, we really want to go back to Taiwan. So hopefully we can find a way to get back there. And yeah, if they had a nice long-term visa solution for us to get in there, we would definitely go. And from A-Tube, have you ever been to Hong Kong? I've been to Hong Kong a few times. Thuong's never been to Hong Kong. We would like to go, or she'd like to go. Personally, I haven't had too great of experience in Hong Kong. I haven't really cycled there before, so that's one thing I do want to try. But I've only been like in the main downtown area, but it was a little bit too cramped, and yeah, a little too cramped for me. But yeah, of course, the food was really good. It was really interesting seeing all the architecture, and there's probably some other places that I could go see. But yeah, if we have a chance to go there. The Yongki soy milk and beef noodles of Taiwan are calling for us. Oh yeah.
No, morning.
Thuong's been drinking like soy milk every day for the last few days, and it just reminds me there's a lot of nice like soy milk foods over in Taiwan. Oh, what's this?
What?
Taru aru?
Hey.
I think one of the lenses is a little dirty, so we're gonna wash this really quick.
どこじゃないでしょ変わらないじゃん。
And from Lee, Malaysia, a lot of cycle routes. Yeah, Malaysia is another place we really want to go to, so we're just waiting for the borders to open. And from John, are you going to sell your bikes here in Japan? Where and how much? We're going to get to that in just one more minute. I'll just catch up here on the last few questions, and then we'll talk about that. Singapore has very limited options for cycling, though, from Chi. Yeah, like Singapore, it's a really small island kind of city. I've never been there, but it looks really beautiful, and we're hoping to visit there. It looks like they're going to announce being open for tourism in the near future. I think they got an 80% vaccination rate, so we're just waiting for that announcement. I think we can only get 1 month there, or Thuong can only get 1 month there, but it'll be a nice little layover, so we might be able to do 1 month in Thailand, 1 month in Singapore, 1 month in Indonesia, and just sort of rotate until we can get into Vietnam. I don't know. That's just one thing we're considering. And from Roberto, what bikes are for sale? We'll get to that in one moment. And from Julio, greetings from Chile, or Chile. From Manfred, do you guys plan to work in the next term country, or in the next short-term country, or can you live off of savings until you can go to Vietnam? We don't plan to work locally until we get to Vietnam, because we're going to be going on tourist-free kind of like visa situation, so we're not going to do any local work. But I am planning to continue doing like online work. I work as a freelance programmer. I also work on some different like websites of my own and different projects. We have saved a decent amount of money over the last 2 years because we've been preparing for this move. So we're mainly planning to go to like cheaper countries, like cheaper living cost countries. So we're pretty confident we'll be able to survive for at least a few months, and with the basic amount of income that we have coming in right now. And ideally we want to like work more on growing this channel so we can make some more money, but we're not too concerned. Like we should be able to like get by for the next few months, and then once we're in Vietnam, we'll probably like look at more local work kind of solutions and setting up a company. Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna take a break from the comments again right now, and we're gonna be talking about the bikes. So you should be able to see all the bikes we have here behind me. So in this room we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bikes. And we've got 2 more bikes outside, and in our living room, we have 2 more bikes as well. So we've got quite a few bikes, and we're actually planning to get rid of most all of them. So we haven't decided exactly what our last... okay, we've decided our last 4 bikes. We want to get down to 4 bikes. That's our goal. So the first bikes to go are going to be our spin bike. We actually just sold our spin bike. That was our indoor bike. We had it inside our apartment. We did that for riding Zwift and stuff. So we got rid of that bike, unfortunately. And we also... What else? I'm losing track of things. We've been selling a lot of stuff the last few days, or just like getting rid of stuff for free, because I don't want to have to worry about this later on. I'm on my summer break from work right now, so I haven't had to work, which has been a blessing. We've just been like cleaning every day, like getting rid of stuff we don't need. Thuong has some of her senpai from work who just like recently moved houses, so we gave some furniture to them. And we've been getting rid of a lot of different stuff right now, not just our bikes. We got rid of our... And we've been selling stuff over the last few months, like sort of preparing for this. We got rid of our car. We got rid of our sofa.
Yeah.
We got rid of a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, the next things to go are the bikes. So we need to be as fluid as possible. We need to be as lightweight as possible. So our goal is to get down to one suitcase and one backpack each, plus like one bike each. And we haven't decided what bikes we want to bring on our trips. So right now we're thinking about two different solutions. One is we're going to bring like a road or gravel bike kind of solution. I have a cyclocross bike, so I can convert that to like a gravel bike. And if we go that route, we'd probably get a new like road or gravel bike for Thuong-chan, and we'd bring that both of those bikes with us. The problem with this solution though is the road bike boxes are a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit more difficult to travel with. If we're staying in Southeast Asia, it'll be a lot easier because the flights are really short. We don't have to worry about any transfers, so it's easy enough to bring the bikes with us to like Indonesia or to Singapore or to Thailand. But if we go to Panama, we have some different layovers, and I'm really worried that like Thuong won't be able to check in the luggage and then recheck it in if she has to do like a long layover in Europe because she has the weak passport. I'm not sure if she's able to do that. So we're also considering going with the folding bike option. So let's the nice thing about the folding bikes is they get compact, like really small. So this folding bike here, oh, I forgot, this needs to, we need to put the seat post down for this to lock, but this folding bike here, like this thing's really tiny. This will fit in a suitcase, so we can easily bring this with us. And we're thinking about getting two folding bikes and bringing those with us on our travels. Okay.
Oh.
The problem with the folding bike solution though is it's not great for like long rides. So if we're just doing like short-term traveling and we're like just cycling around the city, doing some short like little day trips, like we can probably make do with a folding bike. And that's why I'm thinking to bring the folding bike instead, because it's a lot more flexible. It's a lot easier to bring. So if we need to take a bus, if we need to take a train, we can easily bring the folding bike. The disadvantage though is we won't be able to go for like long epic kind of rides, but until we get like a settled home, I think that's going to be really difficult for us. So logically, I think the folding bike makes more sense. But if we're going to be able to do some more serious riding, like if we get a long-term stay in like Panama City, I think I'd rather have a road bike. So it really depends on where we end up. So right now, my goal is to get us down to like 4 bikes total, and that is 2 folding bikes and 2 road bikes or something like that. And so that means the bikes that are going to be going for sale pretty soon is going to be, unfortunately, Thuong's mountain bike. So this was her Christmas present a few years ago, and it's really sad to see it go, but it doesn't make sense to like ship some of these bikes to Vietnam. They have a crazy like import tax, which they might charge, they may or may not charge, even though it's like a used product. And it's just easier for us to get a new mountain bike once we're there. And the mountain bikes are the hardest ones to transport. So we're going to be selling her BMC mountain bike. We're going to be selling my mountain bike. So those are our next bikes to go. We're also going to be selling Nana-chan, my single speed. Just because I have the folding bike now, I can commute on the folding bike. So there's no point to have like extra bikes that we don't need right now. So also, I have some bad news, and that is my road bike, Kuro-kun, is potentially broken. So I took her out for her first ride in a while recently, and I noticed a ticking sound. And on further inspection, I noticed that my steerer column on the fork has a little bit of a crack, or like an indent from just, I think I tightened down the stem a little bit too hard. And so there's a crack on there. I'm not sure if it's like a fatal crack. I have to get it inspected at a bike shop. But if it is a fatal crack, I'll have to at least order a new fork. At that point, it's not even like worth like ordering a new fork and then selling. I'm probably just gonna have to scrap it and get rid of that bike. Unfortunately, I'd probably just lose money if I ordered a fork and then tried to sell it. So I think I might be giving that one away to like a local rider here who wants to do the cost, or maybe just like donating it, or possibly even scrapping it completely if it's completely ruined. But it's a really old frame. Like, I've been riding this bike for a long time and I got it used in the first place. So that means this bike's gone, this bike's gone, this bike will be gone, and then we'll be down to the two sort of road bikes, or my cross bike and her road bike, and then the folding bike. And we actually have two more mystery, excuse me, Thuong made karaage.
No!
Thuong made some fried chicken.
What did you say?
So we ate just before this live stream, and I've got a little bit of gas in my stomach right now. No. So yeah, excuse me. We have two secret bikes that we haven't announced yet, but we'll be announcing those on the channel here very soon. They are folding bikes, and we're really excited about them. So this folding bike that I just showed you is a 16-inch folding bike. The two folding bikes that we have in our living room right now, they are 20-inch folding bikes. And yeah, we're going to be doing a full announcement video. We're going to be doing a comparison between 16-inch folding bikes, 20-inch folding bikes. And yeah, I'm really excited to announce and show you guys the new video with the new bikes. We're filming that like this week, so that'll be out probably next week. 新しいバイク楽しいね.
Yeah.
So yeah, look forward to the new video with the new bikes coming up. Those are also potential candidates of bikes that we're going to bring. So let us know what you think. Do you think we should bring the folding bikes, or should we bring the road bikes? Which make more sense, and which videos would you rather see? So that's the plan with the bikes. I'll be posting them for sale. We've gotten a lot of messages about these, but honestly, I just want to sell to like a local buyer, preferably, because I don't want to have to deal with shipping. I just want to deal with simplicity at this point. We have too many things on our plate right now. So if you are living nearby in Nagoya and you are interested in the bikes, I'll be posting them for sale on the Nagoya garage sale group. I'll also be posting them on the Nagoya Cycling Club group. Those are the local like cycling club and garage sale kind of Facebook groups. So I'll be posting the information there. And I haven't decided the prices yet. I'll be doing reasonable prices, like nothing too ridiculous. Thuong's mountain bike's in really good condition. My mountain bike's a little bit older. But I'll be doing the full detail, the pictures and everything. So if you're interested in the bikes, you can also email me twowheelcruise@gmail.com if you don't use Facebook, and I can share the information there. But I'm going to be selling them, I'm going to be pricing them to sell. So I don't imagine they'll be lingering around too long. But at the same time, it's also sometimes really hard to sell larger size bikes here in Japan. So anyway, go check out those posts. If you're interested, I'll be announcing them probably later tonight or tomorrow. And I don't imagine they'll be available for too long. So if you are interested, let us know. Okay, so those are our two main topics today. Why are we leaving Japan? And where are we going? What are our short-term countries? What are our medium-term countries and long-term countries? And what are we doing with our bikes? So I think we're going to answer a few more questions in the chat, and we'll continue on. So if we missed your comment again, please just write it down again at the bottom. We're only sticking with the most recent comments. And yeah, let's go through this. I'm really thirsty for some water right now. And from Cameron, what have you done with the BMC track bike? Okay, fortunately, we were able to sell the BMC track bike. We had a buyer over in Tokyo, a fan of the channel, who offered to buy that for us. So I think he got a pretty good deal on it, but I'm really grateful that he helped support our situation. So that was a really difficult bike to sell here in Japan. So fortunately, we've gotten rid of all of the difficult things. Like this last week has been really stressful, but we got rid of a lot of the more difficult items in our apartment. We got rid of, the spin bike. That was really tough. And fortunately, we've been finding buyers. So we're putting my summer break to good use, just cleaning out the apartment. We want to get this as minimal as possible. So when I finish my work contract, we can just focus on riding and enjoying filming our last few videos in Japan and making our preparations for leaving, like getting our tickets, making sure everything is ready for us to travel. So yeah, we've been selling a lot of items and getting rid of a lot of items the last few weeks. So yeah, Roberto, sorry, we're not selling any bikes, especially internationally right now. Like, just the whole international shipping situation is really difficult. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's a lot of work to like box up the bikes. So like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that. Okay, Michael, thank you for the thumbs up, but please try and not add too many. It's making it difficult to catch up on the comments. Okay, from Evaristo, bring the road bikes. And from Hansation, bring the road bikes. Okay, we've got 2 votes for road bikes already. From Jay, if it weren't for COVID, would you stay in Japan for a longer period? No, we would have been out of Japan much earlier. We were planning to leave over a year ago.
How much BMC?
And from Mizuki, I don't think you need to sell the bikes. It may be useful for running a coffee shop. Yeah, it's just too difficult to get them all into Vietnam right now with all the import tax and everything. It just makes more sense for us to start over there. And yeah, if we make it like a partnership with a specific brand, like we become a dealer for like a major brand, I don't know, for example, Trek or Giant or Specialized, we're probably going to want to focus on just that main brand. So it depends on what we do, like what kind of partnerships we can do in the future. If we want to be a specific dealer. I'm not sure how bike shops are in Vietnam, because bike shops in Japan, like, they're a whole bunch of different brands. They carry like everything. But most stores in like the US, they focus on a specific brand or up to like 2 or 3 specific brands. So yeah, we got to do some more market research there. And from Tsutsui, karage, what flavor? Nano aji? Normal.
Normal.
Normal. Nano aji? Kuton-chan いつも作る唐揚げだから。何の味？どうやって作ってるかわかんない。
私作った
だから切ってる。
食べる人が
唐揚げの味。何の材料入れた？
唐揚げの普通のケーキのパンね。で、2個の卵。で、400g のチキン、胸のチキン、油がないのチキン。
じゃあ特に味がつけてないでしょ？
Yeah.
Yeah, so she didn't add any special flavor. It's just a normal karaage flavor, I think. She had the batter and the eggs, nothing special. And she made it with, she made some tartar sauce, so we dip it in the tartar sauce. And from Samsul, konbanwa from Malaysia. Hope to see you here cycling in Malaysia. I hope we can make it over there one day. And from Hector, what's the best way to help you guys out? Just keep watching our videos, like the videos, share the videos. That's the best way that it'll help us. If you're in a strong, stable financial position, we really appreciate our supporters over on Patreon. We have some extra bonuses on there, like we get videos out early. You can watch them, no advertisements. Sometimes we make some bonus Patreon-only videos. So if you want to help us out financially, you can donate and become one of our members over on Patreon. That helps as well. But we don't expect any of that from anyone. Just liking the videos, sharing the videos, and watching the videos helps a lot. Okay, and from Manfred, Bali or Thailand with folding bikes plus road bikes seems to be a good next step. It'll be difficult to bring both bikes. We're going to have to pick one or the other, I think. And from Roberto, how about your cameras, like the 360? We are trying to minimize what cameras we're going to be using moving forward. So we're actually getting rid of our DSLR. Honestly, I haven't used our DSLR like most of this last year because we film most of our videos outside. So we primarily use our action cameras. We use the GoPro, we use the Insta360, we use the DJI Pocket now. Those are our three main cameras. And for Thuong, she also films with the iPhone sometimes. So yeah, we're sticking with mostly like action cameras and cell phone cameras like iPhone. So we're getting rid of our big stuff we don't need. We're getting rid of our tripod. We don't need that. We're getting rid of our DSLR. So yeah, we're really trying to minimize all the things that we need and all the things that we don't need. We're separating between them right now. We did get some exciting new pants. Tadashi katta zubon totte kureru? So I'm really excited for these actually. These aren't exactly related to our camera gear, but it's related to our traveling and like minimizing our luggage moving forward. So Thuong's gonna go grab that really quick. Okay, so these are our new travel pants. And I love these pants. I've actually had a pair of these for the last 5 years. These are from Montbell. So I don't know if this is an international company. I think it might only be in Japan. So I had a pair of these, and Thuong really liked it as well. And so she got her own pair, and I got a second pair because these are my favorite travel pants. Like, honestly, we're not sponsored by Montbell. I wish we were. But I think they're only a Japanese company. If you have them in your country, let us know. But these are like quick dry hiking travel pants. So they've got a zipper here. They convert into shorts, and they're super lightweight. If they get wet, if it's raining, they dry like instantly. And they have these like zipper pockets. So they have 3 zipper pockets. So if you're traveling and you need to carry some important documents like your wallet, your passport, keys, whatever, things that you don't want to drop, these pants are amazing. So we got these as our dedicated travel pants. We can convert them to shorts if it's too hot. If we're on like an airplane or going hiking in the mountains and it gets cold, we can convert them to pants. So yeah, we're doing a lot of different preparations. We're getting rid of a lot of clothes that we don't need. We're donating a lot of clothes that we don't need. And we're just trying to get down to one suitcase each. Short pants. So these ones are Thuong's. These are the women's colors. And I have an orange pair. This is my new blue pair. Thuong's going to try out this pair for the next few weeks. If she likes it, she's going to get another pair. And you'll probably see us wearing these in a lot of future Tubo Cruise videos once we're traveling. So let us know what you guys think of our new pants. Okay, from Simply Jessica, BMC and the Scott, how much? I haven't decided the prices yet, but I'll be posting that on the Facebook post tonight or tomorrow. I gotta do a little bit more research to see what's like a fair price right now. Yeah. And from C. Johnson, I mean, folding bikes were basically designed for your very situation, so as nice as the other bikes are to have, I don't see any other competition. That's true. Like, I think folding bikes are logically the best. Like, they make the most sense for moving forward, at least until we get settled in another long-term country. So it'll be weird. We're going to try and adjust, and we're going to be riding the folding bikes more over the next few weeks. That's why we're getting rid of everything now, because we want to adjust to this lifestyle of just like only having a suitcase and a bike, and we want to see if we can make it work. So we're going to be doing some practicing. And from Paul Lun, I think you should sell those shirts. These shirts, these are sold in Vietnam like everywhere. So you can find them anywhere if you go to Vietnam, and probably some other nearby countries as well. They have other ones as well, like the mango one. So
yeah, strawberry mango.
Strawberry mango. We'll get all the Vietnamese fruit shirts. Yeah. Okay, from Angel. Taiwan has an open application of work visa for foreigners to look or work for work. Gold card scheme, you're able to stay for 3 years. We'll have to look into that. Some of these programs are a little bit difficult. I think I looked into this before. I think it has a higher salary requirement, but I'll check again. That'd be really nice if we can qualify for that. And from Tsutsui, Montbell was the reseller slash distributor for Patagonia when they first came to the Japanese market. Okay, that makes sense. I wonder if their products are pretty similar or if they have unique items. And from Kirua, Mount Bell are international. They're sold here in Hong Kong as well. Okay, so they're international, at least in other Asian countries. Oh, and from Barbarosi's channel, I had a similar pair from Colombia. Okay, I guess these are pretty common pants. So we're not alone. And from Ahmed, how come she couldn't get a green card? Okay, we haven't talked about this today. We did get this question a lot, like why aren't we going to America? Why don't we get like a green card for Thuong-chan? And this process is actually like insanely difficult and insanely long, even for the spouse of a US citizen. So like I'm a US citizen, I grew up in the US my whole life. We've been married for 3 years, but she still has to go through the same process as like everyone else. So getting her green card, there's like 2 application parts. One is applying for like the petition, it's I-130, and then she has to apply for the actual visa after that. And the current estimate of like how long this is taking is like 12 to 24 months. So like 1 to 2 years basically. And the problem is we have sort of an unstable situation throughout that whole time. So if we apply now and then we travel to other countries, we don't have a stable address, and it's not a very strong application, and we're not sure exactly what we want to do. For example, if we apply now and then we move to Vietnam and we end up liking Vietnam and we want to stay there, we'd have to like cancel our application, or like we get accepted for the first half of the application and then we'd cancel. But then like that would look really bad on our application if we decide we want to go there in the future. So firstly, we're waiting to do that application until we're like 100% sure we want to immigrate to the US. It's not an easy like casual step. Like you can get an immigrant visa for your spouse here in Japan instantly. Like I did it for her. We brought Thuong-chan over here. First, she had to go back because of her visa contract. She was here on the Gino Jishusei program, so the skilled technical intern program. Technically, they're not allowed to get like married here under that visa. They're really strict with that stuff. Like she needed to go back home to her country after her work contract ended. So I had to sponsor her for a tourist visa to come to Japan. We had no relation at that time, so I sponsored her tourist visa to come to Japan. We then got married in Japan, and then she had to go back to Vietnam, and then I sponsored her again as a family dependent kind of visa, and that didn't take very long. Like we finished the whole application in like a month or 2, I think. So it's really easy to do in Japan, like bringing your spouse or family here, but the US is ridiculous. Like it takes up to 2 years, and that's when you're married to a US citizen. Like it's ridiculous. I can't even comprehend like why it's that bad. And just like thinking about the families that have to get separated, like for me right now, the worst possible thing I could imagine is us having to be separated. Like if I had to go back to the US myself and then she had to go back to Vietnam herself in this situation, like we're not going to risk that. Like, and I don't want that to happen. So unfortunately, that's why we're not applying for a US green card for Thuong right now. But in the future, we may decide that this is the best option for us moving forward, getting Thuong-chan a stronger passport where we can both live comfortably together. But first, we want to experience life in Vietnam. We want to make sure, if we're interested in this option or not. We really want to like vet it out and see what is this option like, how does it compare, and then after that we can make a decision. Like, okay, yeah, we should apply for U.S. citizenship, and we'll wait in Vietnam until that happens. Or we could be like, okay, yeah, we want to go back to Japan. So we're leaving those flexible options open now, but if we apply for the green card now, it kind of forces us to go on that track. So difficult answer. And from Michael, from New York City, cycled throughout a whole bunch of different places in Japan for the last few years. And I've also I actually raced in Korea, so I did an invitational hill climb there. I think it's called the Bukak Hill Climb Challenge. And I made a video on this channel, like, this is like three years ago or so, back when I was like seriously racing and decently fast. And I was really impressed with the racing scene in Korea and like the bike pass, like in Seoul. I had such a blast. Like, honestly, at that time, I really wanted to move to Korea. I have a lot of friends in Korea, people who are in the cycling scene there, and I just had a great time. The races were really well run. Yeah, they had it all. They had the music, they had the DJ, they had the great promotion, and they had a great race scene. They have prizes, they have prize money. Like, the race scene in Japan is kind of sad. Like, most races are just like by a riverbank. There's not any prizes. And it's just like, yeah, a lot of hobby riders basically. And there's no like really great dedicated bike pass for road bikes here. But in Korea, they had awesome bike pass in Seoul. And there's a path all the way from Seoul to Busan. So yeah, Korea's amazing for bike pass. Taiwan is like that times 10. There's bike pass everywhere. So yeah, honestly, if you want to come for cycling, like Korea and Taiwan just blow Japan out of the water, I feel. Thank you. And from Ian, if you guys ever come to the UK, I would love to show you guys some cycling tours. Yeah, we're hoping to do a tourist visit in Europe one day. So first we got to get to Vietnam. We need to set up, like, get her banking information fixed and get her ready. She's got to upgrade some documents that she hasn't been able to update because she's been out of the country. And then we can apply for some tourist visas and visit Europe, hopefully together. There's a lot of places we want to experience around the world. So those are other things we're looking forward to doing and finally having the time to do that. And for Panama, what are you guys planning to do? Will you guys be renting some bikes there? So Panama is still kind of like a backup option for us right now. Like, ideally, we want to stay in Asia because our goal, at least right now, our midterm goal is to get to Vietnam. And to get to Vietnam, like, we'd rather stay in nearby countries. So when it opens, we can easily go. So the nearby countries now, only Thailand is open. And they're only open for like a short amount of time. Like, we could potentially go there and we could extend on like a tourist visa or something. Now Indonesia is unfortunately closed, but it looks like they're opening soon. Singapore also looks like it's opening soon. So these options, unfortunately, they're not rock solid right now. So if we had to leave right now, we'd probably go to Panama. But if we have 2 or 3 more months until we leave. So if the situation improves here, we'll probably stay in Southeast Asia if there's a safe solution for us to stay here until we can wait it out to get to Vietnam. So Panama's still kind of like a maybe. If the situation is still bad here, we're going to go to Panama because it's the longest, safest solution. But if the situation improves here, we'll be probably staying in Southeast Asia, and that'll be easier for us. Cheaper flights and just staying in more comfortable, like, familiar territory. And from Kenneth, how about bringing a fold bike and send the road bike to where you decide to live? Yeah, that'd be the smart option. But unfortunately, we can't like decide exactly where we're going with enough time in advance. So if we're gonna send it probably by ship, I think it'll be really long. So we'd probably need to send that at least like 2 or 3 months in advance. So if we knew exactly where we were going, we'd probably do that option. But yeah, we don't know exactly. And honestly, a lot of our bikes are getting a little older right now, so I think we'd rather like then just like upgrade a lot of the parts on them, just sort of sell them, get what we can for them now, and just get new bikes with new components, and that way we don't have to worry about that. Like, we'd lose some money, but it'd just be a lot simpler. So that's why another reason why we're considering that option, just starting fresh. And from Endoplasmic, knowing that you're going to leave the mountain bikes behind breaks my heart. Yeah, it's a sad feeling, but I don't know. I try not to get too like attached to bikes. Like, bikes come and go. Like, I've never been the one to just sort of like keep the same bike for a long time. Especially like, I used to be a racer, so every year I'd get a new race bike and like I love that bike, and then I'd have to sell the bike and get like a new race bike for the next year. So it doesn't bother me too much, and I think she'll be excited when she gets a new bike as well. And from Jax, Montbell is available in Singapore. Oh, Montbell いろんな国で売ってるらしい. Yeah, I thought Montbell was only a Japanese brand. That's good to know. It's more international.
Yeah.
So maybe some people have the same pants as us. From A-Tube, have you watched the new Evangelion and what were your thoughts? I haven't watched the most recent movie yet. I've been wanting to rewatch the original movies and possibly even rewatch the whole original series just because I wanted to refresh myself before I watch it. So I'm waiting to watch it. I need to find some time to rewatch that. And from Mizuka, you can come to Taiwan and sell taiyaki plus bite coffee because Taiwan doesn't have delicious taiyaki. Yeah, that's a good idea. Taiwanese people love Japanese stuff, so I'm sure the taiyaki would sell there. And from Keith, come to Singapore, man. Yeah, that's the plan. If Singapore opens, we're definitely going to be stopping by there.
Yeah, 今年行くね。
何？
来年 Singapore.
Oh, できれば.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thuong really wants to go to Singapore.
Yeah.
Why do you want to go to Singapore?
なんか
英語で。
I watched Singapore walking video. They show beautiful city. That I want to go to here.
Yeah. So one of the reasons, like, Thuong's been trying a couple different YouTube channels. She originally started a channel, I think, like teaching Japanese to Vietnamese people. But she's not really confident, like, speaking in front of the camera like I am. That's another reason why I do all the talking. Plus, she's still learning English. But she really enjoys making these walking videos. Like, it's become her passion over this last year, just, like, being able to film more beautiful walking videos and, like, learning how to make nice videos and just exploring, seeing different parts of the world. So we're really excited to travel and... convert Japan Walk TV into, I don't know, Thuong Walk TV, or we might change the name back to Vietnamese Girl Wandering. That was the name before we changed it to Japan Walk TV, so she's really excited to visit all these different cities and film some more walking videos there and just preserve those memories of where we traveled to.
Walk with Thuong, discover with Thuong, Thuong Wandering. Yeah, 皆さんに聞いて。
Okay, yeah. We're struggling with the name for Thuong's channel, so right now it's Japan Walk TV, which is great because it's strong keywords, like it's exactly what you think it is, like it's walking videos about Japan. But the problem is, once we become more international and we film videos in a bunch of different countries, then like you can't use that like same word. You have to be like, I don't know, like global walking or like walk around the world. But the problem is, if we use like her name, it becomes like Thuong Walk TV or Discover with Thuong. But that doesn't really have any like strong keyword value. So like you guys know Thuong because you watch our channel, but it's not really appealing to like any new viewers. So that's why, I don't know, we might go back, I think, to Vietnamese Girl Wandering, because that one, like, it doesn't have strong keywords, but at least it's got like a unique kind of easy to remember name. But Thuong, like for non-Vietnamese people, it's not really personal either. She's not like introducing herself in the video, so I don't think a name like with her name in it is a good channel name. But if you have ideas, let us know what you'd like to see the channel name change to. I'm voting for Vietnamese Girl Wandering though.
Yeah. You want the Vietnamese?
It'll be easier. Once we're in Vietnam, we can change it to like Vietnam Walk TV or something. But we plan to visit a lot of different countries and film there as well. We got some questions. How is my Vietnamese? My Vietnamese is horrible. We'll probably make a video about this in the near future. I've been wanting to like make a video about this, but my studying has honestly gone on and off again. So I started studying Vietnamese. I was really serious about it for a few months. I think I studied like 2 or 3 months, pretty seriously. Like I took lots of notes. I was studying on Skype like almost every day with a virtual tutor. And then our plans to go to Vietnam got delayed by a year, so I sort of stopped studying because I lost motivation. I didn't have opportunity to like go, and we were just like more stressed about like our current situation. I needed to work again, and just studying became a lower priority. And now like we're thinking we're going to go again, but we still don't know exactly when we're going to be able to go again. So I've started studying again, but it's a really difficult language. So I might make an update video about that, but I'm not going to be talking about how my Vietnamese is right now, unfortunately.
Thương wondering do what?
Yeah.
Thương wondering with everyone.
And from Cameron, any future collabs with Santic again? So yeah, Santic is our actual official like cycling clothing sponsor. So we wear them pretty much on all of our ride videos, and like every few months or so, they send us some new kits that we introduce on our rides. So we love riding with Santic gear. So we've gotten a lot of comments from you guys who have ordered Santic because of our videos, or who have already like ordered Santic before we even introduced it. So you guys seem to like it as well. So we plan to continue partnering with Santic and using their stuff when we travel. So yeah, no plans on changing there. And from Hector, I'm doing a K1 visa and marrying a girl from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. We've been in this process for 3 months now, at least 6 more months to go. So yeah, hope it goes well for you. That's awesome. I'm not sure. I think that's for like the fiance kind of visa. So there's a lot of different paths that you can go. I think the fiance visa might be easier to get over there, because then they can get over there and then you're married. I don't know if you can just extend it while you're there. But yeah, it's not an easy process. Like you got to go through the marriage, and then you got to go through the green card application. So yeah, they don't make it easy, U.S. immigration, that's for sure. And from Samsel, you can do a cycling tour from Singapore to Vietnam through Malaysia and Thailand. That'd be awesome. That'd be the dream. Unfortunately, I think Thuong, she can only spend like 30 days in each country. She doesn't get much longer visa free. And also all the borders are closed right now. So once things get back to normal, we do plan on doing like some super cycling tours around the world. Like that's another one of my big goals I want to do moving forward. So hopefully things will get back enough to normal to where we can do that.
Yeah.
And from Lukman, both of you communicate in Japanese at home instead of English or Vietnamese. Yeah, our common language is Japanese, so that's how we communicate. But we are thinking to maybe try and change that into English pretty soon. So that's probably going to be more beneficial for Thuong moving forward. So little by little, we're going to be speaking more English together. Yeah. So yeah, we speak in Japanese. That's how we met. That's our whole relationship. And from Chi, 1 vote for a Vietnamese girl wandering.
Oh.
Okay. And from Simply Jessica, can we visit you in Nagoya? So right now, Nagoya is under a state of emergency. We haven't been doing like any meetups with anyone right now. So unfortunately, that's how we plan on keeping things right now. I'm not sure. We may announce like a meetup in the future, but honestly, right now we have a lot going on between like working and filming these videos and preparing to leave and selling stuff. We don't have too much time to just like hang out and meet people, unfortunately. But we may announce, I don't know, like a farewell ride or something before we leave. That's another thing we're considering, but it all depends on the situation, because with the case numbers so high in Japan, like we don't want to risk like getting caught with the virus. Even though we're vaccinated, like you can still get it with the vaccination, and we don't want to risk like getting a positive test before we end up traveling. So I don't know, things are all up in the air. There's still a few months before we leave, and if things improve a lot before then, we'll probably do some farewell events, or maybe like a fan group ride or something like that. We'll announce it in the Nagoya area for local people. From Dips, why do you guys give amazing vibes? I'm not sure. I think it's Tunchan. She's the one who has the awesome vibes. From Emmanuelle, so all your Japanese studies are useless if you go to Vietnam. Not really, because like I mentioned, we're planning to make these different businesses in the future. For example, a cafe. For example, a bike shop. For example, bike rentals, bike tours. So who will the customers be in those businesses? obviously Vietnam is very focused on the tourism industry, so there's lots of people who come to visit Vietnam from abroad, and lots of those people come from Japan. So we can cater to both English-speaking customers. We can also cater to Japanese customers. There's lots of Japanese people traveling in Vietnam, so we plan to still be able to communicate and cater to Japanese customers. So not completely useless.
I like chicken.
From Mizuka, I like pho with chicken flavor. Thuong recently made some pho. It was really good. So for people who don't know, Thuong's family runs a pho restaurant in Vietnam. Unfortunately, her family's Vietnamese pho restaurant is closed right now. So Thuong's family, I think they're on lockdown now.
Yeah.
How long is the lockdown?
I don't know.
So Vietnam's getting hit really bad right now, and everything's just shut down like crazy. Like, same as China, basically. Like, everything's just completely shut down. They can only go out like once a week. They got like a shopping ticket.
Yeah.
いつから閉めた？
だいたい1週間前。
それだけ？
ちょこちょこ小さいのロックダウンあったけど、大きなロックダウンが。
前は閉めてた？
閉めてた。
だから、じゃあいつから閉めてた？
いや、もう覚えてない。ジョークあったから。
Okay.
Yeah.
So her restaurant has shut down like multiple times, and now they're shut down again. So yeah, it's been really tough for her family, and yeah, her home situation's not looking very good. So she's got her mother, her grandmother, and her sister-in-law, and their like baby child. So they're all like at-risk people, and unfortunately, her brother is like stuck working in Taiwan right now. So he's not able to go back to Vietnam, but he's like supporting the family back home because of with his work over in Taiwan, they can make a higher salary there. So actually, her brother hasn't been able to see his child like in person. まだ会ったことないね。お兄さんが自分の子供。Yeah, so her brother's just been working in Taiwan this whole time. He hasn't been able to visit home because if he goes, he loses his like job. He loses his entire income. So he hasn't. His son was born in Vietnam, and he hasn't been able to like meet his own child. So yeah, people are in a lot rougher situations than we are right now. Okay. Hope you guys stay in Asia from 98. We love you guys from Philippines. Thanks. We're hoping to visit the Philippines in the future. From Endoplasmic, channel name suggestion, TWC, Thuong's Walking Channel. Oh, that's nice. We can do another like combo of the TWC acronym.
同じじゃん。TWC.
Another nice acronym for TWC is Thuong with Cruise. So it's amazing how it all works out. TWC, that's awesome.
Oh,
from Kyle, why don't you bring your wife to the US? We just answered that like 5 minutes ago, so you'll have to go back if you want to check that answer. It's really long and complicated. So next one from Jay. Your JLPT Sensei website is going strong. It really helped me study. That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. We've been working really hard on it, and yeah, I've been working on that website for over 5 years. It's my baby, and that's another thing we're going to be working on in the future moving forward. So yeah, our Japanese skills aren't going to waste. We can still, we're planning to like teach Japanese and write more like Japanese teaching resources. So if you're interested in studying Japanese, check out jlptsensei.com. It's more for like intermediate learners, intermediate and advanced who are studying for the Japanese exam. Not so much for beginner, but we do want to add some more beginner-friendly resources in the future.
I memo with everyone Thuong's Walking Channel.
From Mizuka, maybe someday I'll go to Vietnam to enjoy Thuong's pho. Yeah,
welcome.
Her family's restaurant, her hometown's like really in the middle of nowhere. I think I was like the first white person to ever visit there. Like that's what everyone there told me. So it's not an easy place to get to, but they'll gladly welcome you for sure.
Yeah,
especially if we're there. Free pho for you.
I will make it for you.
Okay. Another vote for Vietnam Girl Walking. Vietnam Girl Walking. That one's a little different. From Devin. And from Godaya. Me and my Japanese wife are planning to migrate to Japan. Do you think it's wise for someone who only speaks English? I'm kind of worried about job security. No, I mean, there's lots of people who live in Japan who don't speak English. I would say most English speakers or English teachers don't learn Japanese. A lot of people who work in other industries like the manual labor jobs, the engineers, the programmers, and the other foreigners, like Asian foreigners or non-English speaking foreigners, they all learn Japanese. But yeah, it depends on what you're doing. I think there's a lot of job security if you're like becoming an English teacher. There's lots of jobs, but there's not great job quality. So if you want to move up in the English teaching, I think the only option is you have to start your own school. And now there's lots of schools, so it's really competitive and really saturated. So depends on the industry, but I would say like English teaching, yeah, there's lots of jobs. You're not going to make a great income, but you might make enough to survive. If you don't have any kids, it's probably okay. But you don't have very long, great growth prospects. That's another reason why I'm getting out of this. Like, I love teaching, and I could definitely teach for the rest of my life, but I don't see it really worth doing unless I'm able to like start my own school. That's the only way like it's actually like reasonably profitable. But yeah, there's lots of jobs in Japan, and you can get your feet wet, see how you like it. And from the one, have you guys considered Singapore? Yes, we'll be visiting Singapore. I'm not sure if there's any like long-term good living solutions for us there, but we'll definitely want to visit it. But yeah, any country honestly is an option. If we visit a country and we end up like loving it, we're probably going to find a way to stay there and live there. One of the countries at the top of that list is Taiwan. If we can qualify for the long-term residence in Taiwan, I think you can get permanent residence there in 5 years as well. We might consider that as well. But yeah, we'll see. We want to visit a lot of different areas and see what's the best before we make a long-term commitment. Like, the world is huge. There's lots of awesome places, and we want to experience a lot of those places together. From Ray, have you narrowed down your choices from the 3 in the last video? No, we're not going to make a decision probably until end of September. So probably like 1 month before we leave. We need to wait and see the situation. So, and we also need to wait and see what other options become available. So Thailand looks like it's opening some new like options for entering the country, going through Chiang Mai starting in October. And Indonesia is probably going to announce a new tourist visa pretty soon, or tourist-free option for normal tourism soon. And Singapore, the same thing. We're just waiting for these announcements. If they don't come, we'll probably go to Panama. If these announcements come and they're pretty reasonable and it looks like we can travel fairly comfortably in Asia, we're probably going to stay in Asia. So that's how things look right now. And from Ronald, Taiwan, nearly 0 cases of COVID. Yeah, Taiwan has been, like, they've done amazingly in just controlling the whole COVID-19 thing. I really wish we were based there. But yeah, we'll have to see what options we have for possibly going back there. In the meantime, we're just going to be traveling before we make any other long-term living situations. But first we want to get to Vietnam. We want to try living there for 1 year, see what it's like. And Vietnam's still close enough to Taiwan, so like we can fly to Taiwan, I think it's like 1.5 hours from Hanoi at least. So it's close enough to where we can get there easily, and as an American I can get there visa free. We'll have to apply for some visa for Thuong, but it shouldn't be too difficult. And from ATube, if you guys ever come to Melbourne, Australia, it's a great cycling city. Yeah, I've heard lots of good things about there. I think Australia is one of the more difficult places for Thuong to visit, but if we have a chance to go, we'll definitely want to go check it out. I think Australia is really like locked down right now though. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap up this live stream pretty soon. We've asked and answered a lot of questions, so try and get your last few questions in. We'll try and get to them, but it's getting late here. So thank you everyone who has commented, and if we did miss your question earlier, I apologize. There's been a lot of comments we've had to go through, so we'll try and get through the last few here. Just write them again if we missed your comments, but we'll probably be staying on here for another 5 minutes or so, answering these last few questions. And from Mikey, if you both had your own way, what would you both want? I'm not sure what you mean. Like, where do we want to live? What do we want to do? We're basically doing what we want to do now. We want to travel, we want to experience some new places, and we want to try living in Vietnam for a year. So we're doing exactly what we want to do. From Swan, lots of great cycling opportunities here in the Netherlands. Yeah, Netherlands looks like next level. So that's one of our kind of like long-term country goals, potentially. So Thuong's never been to Europe, but I definitely want to try visiting in Europe together and like just to get a taste of it. So if she likes it, we might look at some long-term residence solutions in Europe, and Netherlands just looks awesome. The cycling infrastructure is just next level. Don, before teaching, what was your work in the United States? I worked as a freelance web developer, and I also actually taught about web development in university in a United States university in the US. So I worked at that university teaching programming before I came to Japan, and I taught English at one of the universities in Japan. And also I used to work as a computer operations manager for a bank chain. So my working history is really weird and random. So yeah, my work history, I started computer operations manager, web developer, and then I worked as a teaching assistant, graduate assistant, taught web development courses at the university in the US. Then I came to Japan, I taught English at the university here, and then I became a brand manager or international brand manager for a Japanese distributor and a couple different international brands that we imported here into Japan through the different... Okay, we got a spammer here. Let me... remove that. So yeah, my work history is really random, and then I became a normal Eikaiwa English conversation school teacher for the last year. I did this for multiple reasons. One was we needed an easy job to stay here in Japan for the last year. And the other reason was I wanted to get that experience, because if we start our own English school, I want to have that experience teaching younger ages. So yeah, we did it for those two main reasons, because there's a chance we might open an English school or language school in Vietnam. So I wanted that experience. And yeah, I don't know. I've always been like, I never wanted to do the same thing like my whole life. I like trying different things. And so I was the same thing in university. I changed my major multiple times. I was a biology major. I changed to like an education major, a mathematics major, and then I changed to a business and accounting major. And then I did my graduate major in like interactive design and web development. So I get bored really easily. I like doing a lot of different things. I don't like just doing the same thing. So that's another reason we're leaving. We've had our fill here. We're ready to get a taste of something. Okay, from William. If there was no issue with your passport, with work, money, which country would you choose to live in? Honestly, I don't know. I'd choose to travel full time. So if I had that money, if I had a passport where I could go to every country, I'd travel the world. I'd spend like a month or maybe 3 months in different countries and just keep moving. So I try this one country or this one region, maybe for 3 months, and like travel within that region, see what it's like, then move on to the next region, and yeah, keep doing that until I find like the place that's most ideal for me. Honestly, I don't know where the best place is, so I don't know if it's America. Like I've come to really like more compact style cities, like more walkable cities. So right now I'm thinking like Europe. So yeah, Netherlands or Portugal or Germany, maybe. And yeah, I don't know, like Asia, there's a lot of cool places. We haven't been to Singapore yet, but it might be a cool, like interesting base, like just being able to get to Vietnam closely, other nearby countries. Of the places I've visited so far, probably I would say Taiwan or yeah, European country like, I don't know, Italy. Those are some of my favorites. So Taiwan in terms of food and cycling, just the cycling there is amazing. But it is really hot there. It is really humid there, so the weather's not very great. And there's other like geopolitical threats nearby that don't make me feel very comfortable. That's all I'll say right now. But yeah, in terms of comfortable weather, great cycling, I really enjoyed my time in Europe. So yeah, Italy, I spent some time there, Germany, I really liked it, and I want to experience other places in Europe. So yeah, if I had to choose one place, I'd probably choose Europe right now, just because they have the more walkable cities, really great cycling culture, And yeah, it's pretty safe, really nice weather, and depending on where you are. And there's a lot of diversity depending on where you go. So yeah, that's not an easy answer. Let's ask Thuong-chan.
Yeah.
お金の問題がなかったら、パスポートの問題がなかったら、どこに住みたい？
お金問題だったら、
問題なかったら、
パスポート。Europa?
Europe?
Yeah.
Where in Europe?
Yeah,
So she's never been to Europe. She just has an image right now.
Yeah. 結構、真ん中のレベル、なんか安全、で結構なんか辛抱してるから、でヨーロッパの国全部がそうだったらヨーロッパに住んだら近くの国も同じレベルで、例えば日本みたいに新幹線いっぱいあるでしょ、電車とか、でヨーロッパの国ほとんど同じだから、ヨーロッパの一つの国で住んだら隣全部遊びに観光できる。
Yeah, so she also says Europe just because like there's a lot of nearby countries. It's easy to travel to those countries. So once you're in the EU, you can travel to like anywhere in the EU. They have good public transportation between them. So like even like flights or trains or buses. There's a lot of options for getting around, and it's more safe. It's more like developed kind of country. So she's never been there, but that's one of our goals in the future. Once we are established in Vietnam, we strengthen her passport, like her visa application. We get her just her documents in order, her banking in order, and then we're ready to apply for a tourist visa in Europe. And if we really like it there, we might try and apply for one of the longer term like residencies in Europe.
まだ言いたいことあります。
はい。
ヨーロッパが結構発生してるから、で、例えばコロナみたいな病気になったら早く反応薬が出る。で、
Yeah, so the Western countries also like they reacted a lot quicker with like this kind of like virus situation. So Asia was really bad. Like they were so slow behind everything, just getting the vaccines. And like US and Europe and those countries, like they just had a lot faster vaccination drive. So she'd feel a little bit safer, I think, that way. Yeah. All right, and thank you, Betsy. Thank you so much for your super chat. Betsy's one of our awesome supporters over on Patreon. You are amazing.
Yeah.
So both of us, we choose Europe. So there's a possibility like we'll end up in Europe in the long term. But unfortunately, we don't have an easy path to get there right now. This is sort of something I have thought about as an alternative risky option. So we have talked about our three like sort of safe options. And those are our like stay together in a visa-free country until we can get to Vietnam. But the riskier options are where we get separated and we apply for like a new long-term residency kind of area. So this is easier for me to do because I have an American passport. So for example, I could go to Portugal right now on a tourist visa, get everything set up there, like get a lease, get a bank account, apply for they have a couple different visas you can apply for, like I think it's the D7 visa, and just get everything ready for that. And then I could apply for a dependent visa for my family, for my spouse, to come there later. So for this to work, because she can't go on a tourist visa right now, she'd have to go home to Vietnam temporarily, and then I'd have to call her over to Portugal like once we get that set up. So that was another tempting option that we were considering, but it's really risky because we've never been to Portugal before, and we don't know if we both like it, and we'd risk like being separated during a pandemic, which isn't something we want to do right now. So we are avoiding this solution right now. And that's the same with any like other like long-term residential options right now. Like even if we did like the Germany program, there's a couple different European options. I think there's like a Greece option. There's like a Croatia program, Czech Republic program. There's a lot of different European sort of freelancer kind of self-employed options that we could pursue. But it risks us being separated, and we don't want to do that right now until we have a safe home or safe residence for Thuong to stay from. And if I leave Japan, she's a dependent for me, so she couldn't stay in Japan while we do that. So that's another reason we really want to get to Vietnam right now, just so we have a safe residence for Thuong-chan and we can look for our more long-term solutions. But there's a chance we may fall in love with staying in Vietnam and we want to open up the business there. So really everything's on the table. We've got a lot of different exciting ideas, a lot of exciting places we want to visit. And yeah, I'm sorry, this answer got really long, so I think we missed some more questions. If you write your question earlier, just write it again real quick. Seriously though, this is going to be our last sprint of questions, so I'll try and talk as quickly as I can. But thank you again, everyone who's commented, everyone who has asked questions. We'll be going through the last few questions here. From Kia, any plans on your pro cycling career, Cruz? So I used to dream of being a pro cyclist, and in a sense, I was a low-level pro cyclist. I was a domestic elite team racer. So it's not an official like pro team, but it's kind of a low-level domestic kind of pro team. So there's different level of pro. There's like domestic pro, then there's like international pro, and then there's like World Tour International Pro. So I was at like the bottom of that food chain, and I realized like, yeah, it's unfortunately a little bit too late for me now. Like I'm already over 30, so unfortunately to like get to have success in the pro cycling world, you need to have talent, you need to have a hard work ethic, and you need to have a good environment or good connections. So I unfortunately was on the low connection end of the spectrum. So I didn't have very good connection skills. I didn't have very strong connections to get onto stronger teams. So unfortunately that ship has sailed for me, but I did have a long cycling career that I really enjoyed. I raced at the collegiate level on the strong varsity team, just traveling the country, and I competed in multiple nationals and won a couple different state championships. So that's, I think, the end of my competitive cycling career, but who knows? I may get back into it if we get settled in Vietnam and I want to get like joining the local cycling scene. I may do that. I did enter a couple like local cycling races here in Japan. I really enjoyed it, and it was nice when I was able to get in that normal training routine. But I think until we get in a stable like life, a stable place that we're going to settle down in, I just want to enjoy riding for what it is. Like being competitive with cycling sort of takes the joy out of it a little bit, or it's a different kind of joy. And I enjoy just sort of riding and exploring together. And that's what I want to do on this channel moving forward, at least right now. But who knows, maybe like 10 years later, I'll come back and be a strong, like, just obsessed masters rider. We never know. Okay, last few questions here. Unforgettable swim. I was in Nagoya during the pandemic and your videos really helped me out. Hope you post more videos. I'm a fan. Thank you. I'm glad our videos helped. And from Ten Shieko. I'm for TWC, Thuong Walking Channel. I think it has the same impact and keyword as well. And TWC is like lucky Thuong with Cruz. So we got another vote for that one. Yeah, that one's is starting to like grow on me. From Cheering, have you considered Thailand? Yes, we've talked about that in today's video a little bit. And from Godaya, did your wife study Japanese before coming to Japan? No, she started studying like right before she came because she knew she was coming here on the work program. I studied for a while before moving to Japan, just in university classes, and I had some Japanese friends at my university who were studying abroad there. From JC, what will you miss the most from Japan when you leave? It's hard to say right now. It really depends on where we go and what's lacking there compared to Japan. But 日本の一番恋しくなることは出たら何?
静かな感じ.
Yeah, maybe the quiet. So Japan's one of the most quiet countries in the world, I think. And when you live here a long term, it's a little too quiet. It's actually really uncomfortable at times. But when you're in a loud country for a while, I remember when I visited like Vietnam in the past, it was just really crazy loud, like loud karaoke late at night, loud karaoke early in the morning, and then like some loud truck blasting like some speaker, like selling something. I just remember like coming back to Japan and it being dead silent, and I was like, oh, this is paradise. So I think, yeah, the quiet is something we'll miss the most. And also maybe like the customer service. I hate working in the customer service industry, like as a worker, but like being a customer in the service industry here in Japan is amazing. There's nothing that compares. Okay. In Portugal, Thuong may feel a little isolated. Yeah, it's tough for Thuong, especially with her like having to learn new languages. So we'll see. We want to go there before we decide to make any moves, though. That's why we're planning like a traveling kind of trip before we decide our next long-term destination. And from Kenneth, yeah, we do want to go to the Philippines. A lot of English speaking there. It would be good for Thuong to improve her English speaking skills. And okay, last few questions. From Mats B. I think Germany could fit you well. I think it's really similar to Japan in many ways, but more open in important regards. Yeah, I think Germany's really promising. I really like Germany. They have a similar like work ethic and efficiency compared to like Japan. And also like just the scenery, the nature there is really beautiful. All the farms. And I've only been in southern Germany, like near Switzerland. And yeah, it's just so beautiful there. Like all the farms, all the rolling hills, all the cycling lanes, and the restaurants are really good. So I think like in terms of culture, I think Germany's probably one of the best fits for us potentially moving forward. So, but there's lots of places in Europe I haven't been. There's everywhere in Europe Thuong hasn't been yet. So we're really excited to hopefully be able to get a tourist visa for Thuong to visit Europe in the future. And yeah, just do a full Europe tour. So hopefully that'll happen. Maybe next year, maybe the next year. We don't know. But we'll see. Anyway, I think that's enough questions for today. I think if I missed your question, I'm really sorry. But we got lots of questions on today. And I need to drink like a gallon of water right now to fix my dry throat. But anyway, thank you everyone who commented. Thank you everyone who asked questions. And we hope you answered most of your guys' questions. There's a lot of unknown in the future. There's a lot we're worried about. And we'll keep you updated along the way with all of our steps moving forward. We are going to be making a decision where to go probably in the next month. So not anything right now. We need to wait and see how the situation develops. What country looks safest and what country is offering like a tourist-free visa solution right now. We don't know, so we can't make any decisions right now. We'll be doing that like a month before we leave, and it looks like we're going to be leaving around November. So we'll be making a decision, I think, around October. So that's about a month and a half away from right now. So we have time, and we'll keep you updated. We'll be filming lots of videos here before we leave. And thank you, my brother Cruz, Sabino Cruz. Thank you for the super chat. Nice to see you guys back on live stream. And once I finish my work contract, we'll be doing a lot more live streams. And that's another thing we want to do in the future. I haven't had time to do it with my work schedule and the timing of my work. It wasn't a good time to live stream. But after I finish my work contract and we're free to work full-time online with what we want to work on and our exciting projects, we'll be live streaming a lot more. All right, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like the video before you leave. And we'll see you next time here on Thuong Cruise.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.